Most of the time, when we want to start learning English or learning any language, we want to know how or by what we are going to start. Are we going to start by reading, or are we going to start by listening, or are we going to start by learning new vocabulary? Because as I said, there are 5 important pillars to learn in any language, but we don't know about or how are we going to if you want to know about how you are going to start by reading or listening, this video is for you. Hi, welcome back. Welcome to another new video. I hope that you're doing well and good. If you don't know me, my name is Ines, and if this is the first time for you watching this video, please consider subscribing into it, because basically what I do in my channel, English for a Better Life, is that I help you to learn English by simple ways and simple methods. And if you don't know, I have also a school online where I teach English, and I'm with you all along to follow your improvement in this language. Let's start. So in those advice, I'm going to give you 3 advice or 3 steps to do. And actually, basically what I'm going to tell you is all based on my own experience and also based on a lot of teachers' experience. I have seen one incredible video about Steve Kaufman, and so if you don't know Steve Kaufman, he actually is a teacher. He is giving a lot of advice how to learn languages. He learned, I think more than 7 languages, so he is an expert right here. And so actually I really liked this advice and steps that he gave, and I decided to share it with you. So the first question that we should ask ourselves is, are we going to start by reading or are we going to start by listening? If you watched my previous video, I told you that reading is really important in in your journey of learning English, but listening is much more important in the beginning. Why is that? Because for me, it is important to be familiar with the words, familiar with this vocabulary, with this new expressions in English, and the only way for me to learn those words and learn the culture and the vocabulary is by listening. For me, reading comes after. Now, we are very lucky to have a lot of applications. You can, for instance, just use Google Traduction. You make the word or the sentence that you want to listen to, and then you can listen. It's very, as much as easy as it is. But without forgetting that reading is also very important. As we read, we are creating new imagination and we are learning new vocabulary. So we can't say that reading is not important. It is important, which is actually going to lead us to our second advice, which is the connection between reading and listening. So this second advice, I want you to listen to it, to repeat it, whatever it is, but I want you to, be focused in this particular idea and to understand it very well. Because actually, by reading, I want you to read out loud. Okay, not reading, no, reading out loud. It is very important to read out loud, because the first reason, it's because you are going to listen to your pronunciation You know, it's very important to listen to itself, especially if you don't have any teacher to follow you. If you are just alone at home and you wanna learn English, so you have to read out loud in order to listen to your pronunciation. And listening to your pronunciation is called subvocalizing. It is not like speaking, because when you speak, you are thinking about the words that you're going to use, the new expressions that you learned. It is not like speaking, but at least it is a beginning to a direction to know how you are going to be able to speak. So it's very important to read out loud. So for me, the basic strategy would be listen first, because how you are going to know how do we pronounce the words? You need to listen to someone who is not really expert, but to a native person who can really pronounce the words very well. And so by listening to those words, by listening to the pronunciation, you are going to be able to read. So it's listen first, learn to the pronunciation, and then read. The third idea right here, it depends on your level. So maybe your level is not beginner, your level is more intermediate. So it really depends on the levels. So for instance, if you are a beginner, I really advise you to listen to that expression, to listen first and then try to repeat after it, okay? Try to repeat after it and to listen very good to the pronunciation. Also, something very important is that, you can try before listening, you can try to read, because in a way it's making us very lazy, because sometimes just by listening you are not doing some much efforts. So you can instead guess and start read, then you listen to the pronunciation and you correct to yourself and you read another time. So this can be a very good way for beginners. Now if you are an intermediate, so maybe for you listening will be very good, okay? So I was doing this actually in the morning when I wake up. I really liked to listen to, for instance, to the motivational videos on YouTube. It was in English. So if you are an intermediate and you want to level up your language, you can actually start by listening. And by listening to those words, maybe some words are maybe you are curious about knowing some words. Maybe you did listen about it, but you don't know the real meaning. And so by your curiosity, you are going to search about the meaning of those words, and this is how you are going to be able to learn new vocabulary, okay? So yeah, I think for the intermediate level, this would be a very good way to learn English. Now, Steve Kaufman told us that there is what is called intensive reading and extensive reading. So intensive reading is really when you read a page, you are dividing sentence by sentence, knowing the meaning of each word and each sentence and expression. And the extensive reading is just reading like that, without being so deep into the learning. So if you are a beginner, I really recommend to you to read an intensive reading, because you are going to be focused and to search about the new vocabulary, the new expressions, and so that you understand very, very well the page that you are reading to. if you are intermediate, you can read as an extensive reading. You know, you are not obliged also to understand every single word of the page. If you understand the general idea, that's really good. That's really good. Was the today's video. I hope that you like it. Tell me in comments, what are your level? Are you intermediate or are you a beginner, so that I know you know, that I know my followers and their levels, so that I can do more videos about maybe beginners or intermediate. So if you liked this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing into the channel so that you don't miss any of my new videos, educational videos. And I will tell you, see you the next time. Bye.